Hi there, it's Rory Boys speaking. I'm just going to show you my project, my individual project for stage 1 and 2. So you've got some contact forms here, some JavaScript, just so it's interactive a little bit, and same with the login button here. We'll go into the admin side first. We've got some like highlighting on the boxes on selection, things like this as well. Okay, so you get welcome according to the sessions, the session authentication there. And I'll show you the books of this bin library. So you can add your books here. We've got a scrollable wheel there. And it was my intention, just for the user of the library, to enter the ISBN number associated with the book. In a library scenario, that would probably be scanned as something like this, for it to autofill all the details and to avoid any insertion errors. At the moment, as it stands, the fields do need to be inputted manually, but the ISBN does serve to add the front cover of the books using Open Libraries API. So it just fetches this ISBN here and then gets it, stores it as a blob in the database as a temporary measure. Again, that's something, given more time, I would find a different method of storage, as it is a little bit laggy. Okay, so now we can go to view here, and we can see all these automatically be set to available. Yes, they're all available there. I'll select this one here. As you can see, we've got some highlighting things. So yeah, you get the full blurb, the full description once you've selected the book. And what we can do now is we can issue it to a user. So I'm going to issue it to this user, ID 5. And now we get issue was successful. So now if we go into accounts, as you see, we can create user using a similar kind of form. These inputs here can't be left empty, so they are required fields. So yeah, if we go to ID 5, we can either edit the user's credentials here. So just an example of how you could, obviously the password there is obfuscated for security purposes, and we can view the books he's lending. So here we've got a countdown timer here, and yes, we've got a loan date there, and that just compares the current date. Each book is automatically set to 7 days as the time limit, so we'll just get a countdown here with 7 days. After that, it will go to overdue. Obviously there's no payment system at the moment, so I was going to implement a fee system or something to this degree, but there's no way of making payments at the moment. As I say, given more time, that's something I could possibly implement. But yeah, I'll just show you some of the logic for that. So if we go to that page, yeah, so there's just a little JavaScript call here with script, and we're just including this the links to the format date and breakdown date functions that I've created. So essentially what it's doing is there's 2 hidden fields here in the tables. It's just using PDO to fetch these results, and some joins here. There's inner joins on loan books on the IDs, and it's getting the user ID from the session, and so yeah, so yes, when in here it calls the process, you see, so you can return the book using this. You return here. So I've got this is the book associated with this user, so it's carrying that user ID over, and when it selects it, it'll return that book. So now we'll be able to see that there is no books under that name now, and if we go to view books, it will back to be available. So yeah, so it's the processing is handled in a separate directory, just to kind of separate concerns a little bit and clean things up. So yeah, the countdown timer, it's looping through each table row, it's getting the elements by ID, and so for the rows 4 and 5 now they're hidden elements and they're being replaced and displayed on 6 and 7. Just 6, sorry. So we're passing in a new date, and we're creating a new date, and we're saying that's essentially equal to the create on date of the ticket and the time limit, specified time limit of this row here, the time limit. So it's essentially it's passing these two table rows in as parameters into the format date. So I'll just show you that quickly. Okay, so the dates that are stored in the table are stored essentially as 15 minutes as plain English text. 1 hour and 15 minutes, essentially, this kind of format. So what we essentially do is, if it includes days there with a space, just to get rid of the days and just get the actual numerical values themselves. So yeah, replace, if it contains days, replace with nothing, and then pass it to an int. So as I say, we're just essentially, if it's 15 days, well, it's 7 days in this case, so it's just taking the 7, and into an integer. It just means we can store it a little bit more clearly in the database. So yeah, we've got an add days to date here there. So we set the hours, we then account for UTC time plus 1 hour, just the way the date time works in Java, vanilla JavaScript. Did want to avoid the use of external libraries such as Luxon and such, just for security purposes really. So yeah, then convert to an ISO string just to get into a format that will match this next function. We just get rid of any of the extra characters that comes with the ISO string standard. With these removed, it will fit the format of our next function. So yeah, so we're saying the result is equal to this row and the constant time we declare a constant time difference, and we're saying we're passing in this new date we've just created into breakdown date, which I'll show you here. So we're essentially fixing the time, taking the absolute value. We're taking the just to get them in the same format. Then we're taking the date from date 2. We then take the floor to get each day's hours min secs, so that if we were to in the future include more time, so you could maybe get an extension of 5 hours or 30 minutes if someone was in the library and wanted, or can I just keep the book for an extra 30 minutes, or for example, it accounts for each unit of time, and then it returns so if it's a negative value, if it's not a negative value, it will return each value plus the associated string. Otherwise, it'll just return past due. So yeah, so that's how we get the countdown timer working. I'll show you the user side quickly. Yeah, so we're in the user side now. It would possibly help actually just to load me one of these books first. Okay, just quickly loan this one out. Oh, I meant to do there we go. Okay, so now you see there's so the book will turn up here, and we've got the time remaining on this one as well. So yeah, work in progress, as you can see. Tried my best to try and get the tables and things like this without the use of Bootstrap and whatnot, just to try and get somewhat of a unified look to the whole system. But yeah, that's my project. Thank you for watching.